Meeting is called to order at 6 o'clock. Please stay seated and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Clerk Wright, would you please call the roll?
I will. Trustee Miller,
Here.
Trustee Martin,
Here, Van Buren Township.
okay.
Yes, please state where you're from or where you are.
Trustee Boyne,
Here in Van Buren Township.
Trustee Frazier, I don't see her. I'm assuming she's absent. Treasurer Bud,
Two people chatting.
Here in Van Buren Township.
the clerk is here in Van Buren Township. Supervisor McNamara.
Here in Van Buren Township.
I didn't say here in Van Buren Township, so there you go.
Okay.
Okay, we have a quorum here in Van Buren Township.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to begin this by requesting a moment of silence. The treasurer of Sumter Township, James Clark Jr., passed away on Monday, June 7th. Treasurer Clark was retired from Ford Motor, where he worked in quality as a quality manager after 44 years of service. He served townships as a building inspector and as a member of the planning commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. He was currently serving as term as treasurer. He is survived by his wife, Tony, many children, and numerous grandchildren. I would like to honor his dedication to the community of Sumter Township with a moment of silence, please. Thank you. I'll begin with the executive summary. Before I begin, I would like to recognize that Mrs. Callie Barr is in attendance on our Zoom meeting. She is on our board meeting for the appointment to our planning commission. The consent agenda today consists of a board meeting minutes, prepaid list, the voucher list, paying our regular bills, adoption of a DDA appendix to resolution 2012, which is the township employee restructuring. Appointment of Mrs. Callie Barr to the Planning Commission. Her term will expire October 1st, 2022. And approval of the transfer of $19,689 for the purchase of a new mailroom copier with the service contract. New business today is going to consist of discussion on the purchase of a 21 Ford Escape from Atchison for community services. That's seniors, Parks and Rec, BAM. And there's one more. And the selection of a John Deere a tractor and mower for the building and grounds area. I'm making a request that whoever makes the agenda opening revises the agenda to add discussion of a reopening plan under new business as line item number 3. Thank you very much. Can I get a motion to adopt and revise the agenda?
Supervisor, I make a motion to adopt
And revise?
and the revised agenda to add
Ryan?
item number 3, discussion of reopening plan.
Support.
And Miller and Bud. Okay, hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Roll call, I'm sorry.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Yes,
Trustee Boyne,
Yes.
Trustee Frazier is, any word? Treasurer Bud,
Yes.
yes for me, Supervisor,
Yes,
motion passes.
thank you. Okay, moving on. Sorry, my agenda is different than your agenda. Consent agenda. Frazier was last time, so it would be Martin. Trustee Martin, would you like to make adoption of the consent agenda?
I cannot because I cannot bring up I can't get the agenda I can't get the packet on my computer. I got it the other day, but I can't get it right now.
I can do it.
That's the same with me. I'm sitting here trying to get my my packet up also. I opened it up last night and I can't get it again.
I can do it.
Trustee Miller.
And
Hi,
the reason is there's a broken link that Alicia just helped me with.
Yep.
I guess once the link is updated, it breaks the link. I think that's what's going on with everyone. But I'll
Oh.
go ahead and start the adoption of the consent agenda.
Trustee
Number-
Miller, can I just pop in real quick? I did email everyone the updated link. You can also get it on our website as well, but I'll email it one more time to everyone because we want you to be able to see the packet. And it's also in the chat, the new agenda.
Oh. Oh.
So lots of options. Thank you. Sorry.
You want me to go ahead and start or should we wait?
I want you to start.
Okay, number one, board meeting minutes of June 1st, 2021. 2, prepaid list of June 3rd, 2021. 3, prepaid list of June 10th, 2021. 4, voucher list of June 15th, 2021. 5, adoption of the DDA appendix to resolution 2021-12, township employee restructuring. 6, appointment of Callie Barr to the planning commission with a term to expire October 1st, 2022. Number 7, approval of the transfer of $19,689 from the general fund balance to general office capital outlay for the purchase of a new mailroom copier with the service contract.
Wonderful.
Support.
Boynton?
Yep.
Okay, I have a second. It is a consent agenda, so no discussion. Clerk, could you call the roll?
Okay, again, trustee Miller,
Yes,
trustee Boyne,
Yes.
trustee Martin,
Yes,
trustee Frazier is absent. Treasurer Bud,
Yes.
yes for me, clerk Wright, supervisor,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you.
Supervisor?
I think we all want to thank, sorry.
Supervisor, can we, since Ms. Kelly Barr is on this Zoom call, I'd like to personally thank her, and I'm sure the board would too, for volunteering to fulfill this role.
Sure. Announcer, can you elevate Ms. Barr if she wants to be?
I don't see her.
Oh, she was, okay. I was told that she was there, but
Okay,
She was. She might have got bumped off.
oh, poor little girl. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Barr. Yeah. I think she's going to be great. She's an attorney, and she really wants to become connected more with her community. She's got all the, just all the right things that we were looking for in people. She's exciting. She's motivated. She's intelligent. We're excited to have her on the team.
thank
Okay.
you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Moving over to correspondence and announcements. Does anybody have an announcement they want to make before I go through the packet? No? Okay.
Yeah, I guess since this is the 5th, what's today, it's the 15th, I guess we need to announce that the township municipal offices will be closed on, what is that, July
July 5th.
5th, observance of Independence Day.
Thank you. I didn't have that.
I didn't either, I just thought about it.
Well, I got to start off with, we're having movies in the park, and the movies in the park with the Belleville Lake Fest, which is Van Buren, and that's up. The movie's going to be Finding Nemo. Come early, set up your blankets and your chairs. We have a play structure. You can enjoy food from the food trucks. You do have to buy the food from the food trucks. The event is free, rain or shine, and it's open to the public. You must register through the Van Buren website. We have plenty of spots because it's a very big park. We're very excited about this, and it was the first use of our rec desk software, which ties into our social media. And within the first day, we had 121 people that used social media to hot link right into our system and sign up, which is kind of exciting for me. Job fair. We're having a job fair. We're having trouble, just like everybody else, finding employees. So somebody came up with a job fair, took off like Banshee, and pretty much long story short is we have positions, salary positions, seasonal positions, part-time, and we have full-time positions. We have interviews for firefighters, fire inspectors, water workers, public service workers, public service account clerks, park maintenance, gatehouse staff, dispatchers. We have lots of job openings, and quite frankly, we're not getting any applications. So come on in and see if it works out. Job fair. That job fair is 2 to 7 Wednesday the 23rd. 2 to 7 Wednesday the 23rd. It's also on our website. The Real Summer Youth Program, if you're in high school and you want to be in one of these things. Nicole, why don't you tell us about the Real program?
Hello, board. Hello, audience. This year, the Real program will be focusing on Entrepreneurship 19. We're taking a page from the COVID-19 book, but this year we're going to focus on those businesses that came through as startups and that are still very much progressing in 2021. So we're looking for 14 to 24-year-olds. Our community ambassadors, our rate of pay is $12 for 14 to 16-year-olds if you want to come join us. I am still looking for youth community managers and the pay is $22. I'm short 2 managers. So if you are interested, please give me a call. All of my information is on our website at vanburenreal.com. Thank you, Supervisor. Thank you, board.
Hey there. Tell them
I'm
about
here.
We need work for them too. Tell them about that.
Oh, yes, we do need work for our children this summer. So if you are 55 years or older and you do not have any means of getting your lawn work done, please give me a call at 734-699-8900. My extension is 9293. I will be taking yards up until July 5th. So please give me a call as soon as possible and we'll get you on the schedule. And our program actually starts July 6th of this year.
Okay. All right. Let the record show that Trustee Frazier is here. Okay. Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome.
Okay. I also want to announce that we had another blood drive. We've been having these. We're knocking it out of the park. We filled the place up again. 36 donors presented to give blood. 31 products of life-saving blood were collected. At most important, the number was 93 patients' lives will be touched by this drive. The Red Cross is excited about working with us because we always seem to help them fill it out. They do most of the work, but they do great. Here's something for Clerk Wright, who long time ago started an idea that should have worked out, but for some reason it wasn't enough people helping out. We're going to go back and start a homeowners association collaborative, a coalition of homeowners associations. We've identified only about 1/3 of the homeowners associations in Van Buren Township. If you want to be part of this coalition, please contact my office. Our first meeting is going to be June 24th, Thursday, June 24th at 6 o'clock, and we're going to do it by Zoom. You can join and be part of it from sitting at your own home. We can figure out what works, what doesn't work. In a township, especially with these modern HOAs that are really condo associations, you are a government unto yourself. You watch roads, you do your drains, you do your sewers, you do all these municipal things that most people associate with cities and townships. But that's not the way the law was written for most of these HOAs. We can help. We can work together. So. Clerk Wright, you kind of tried to start this a few years ago. You got anything to say?
Am I muted? Well, I'm glad to hear you bringing it back. I thought it was a good idea back then. Don and I tried to get it going, but kind of dropped to the wayside. But I still think it's a good idea. I'm glad you are putting it back into play. Like you said, some homeowners associations are more advanced than others. But as a collaboration together, it can be strong and get things done more efficiently if they work together. So, yeah, I'm glad to see you bring it back.
And my last message is a video. We had a rodeo this weekend, and Ryan Nichols was sent out to take pictures, and Ryan loves to make videos. So Ryan or Alicia, run the video.
Good evening, everybody. I'm really glad that you all are here. And let me give you an applause because coming to a black radio is something else. Oh, the cowboys and cowgirls have come to this year. I love to have so many of our constituents. People don't understand Wayne County is not just Detroit. Let me see Inkster. Let me see Garden City. Let me see Romulus. Let me see Van Buren Township. Kind of holler, hoop and holler, let them know you're here. Governor Gretchen Whitmer presented a proclamation to the Midwest Invitational Rodeo. And when the governor of the state of Michigan appreciates an enterprise like this, it's a good thing. And so, Nicole, from the governor, a special tribute.
I am so tickled to see you with them boots on. I know you could have rode that horse from here to yonder if they'd have let you ride that horse.
Not so sure about that, but I'd give it my best.
Kind of fun. Hey, community's about having fun, so it's kind of fun to have something like that. At any rate, let's continue on. Does anybody else have any announcements? No, we're into the public comment period then. Oh, okay. We're into the public comment period. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to comment on any of the issues of today?
Trustee Martin, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, I'll wait till the end. Thank you.
Okay. We have no public comment on the business. We have a public comment on non-agenda items that I will read at the end.
Okay. All right. We're in a new business. Can I get a motion? First item is a discussion on and to consider approval of a purchase of a 2021 Ford Escape in the amount of $21,000 to be utilized as a fleet vehicle assigned to community services, which is parks, recreation, seniors, and band. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Mr. Boynton?
Hello, Tom. Hi.
Who made that motion?
Mr. Boynton?
Okay.
And who seconded it?
I'll,
Trustee Frazier? Okay. All right. Who's got this? Best, Director Best.
Good evening, board. Thank you for having me. Today, we are here to talk about the approval to purchase a 2021 Ford Escape from Atchison Ford at a cost of $21,555 approximately, and the movement of funds in the amount of $21,555 from the general fund balance to fleet maintenance to fund the purchase. This vehicle will be utilized as a fleet vehicle assigned to community services. In 2021, earlier in April, we auctioned off 10 fleet vehicles in the amount of $33,589, which would be allocated to the revenue line item for sales of fixed assets. These revenues will revert to the general fund balance at the end of the fiscal year, thereby covering the cost of the purchase. So the movement of these funds from the general fund now to the fund, from fund balance to fleet maintenance, will fund the purchase, but it will balance out in the end in the plus side to our revenue because we're spending less than we generated for the auction. The vehicle that we are purchasing is a two-wheel drive base model Ford Escape, very similar to the one that we purchased in late 2019 for the assessment department for the fleet, that the fleet assigned to the assessing department. And we're actually getting this vehicle slightly cheaper than we did 2 years ago. The vehicle is, the color has yet to be picked. That's going to be up to the, we're going to leave that up to what we can get from the base model selection that we're going to order. This vehicle, if purchased, if approved by the board for purchase, will be ordered from Atchison Ford and built in the base model configuration, no extras, no add-ons, no anything, just a car, wheels, and engine, and it will get us from point A to point B. This vehicle, it will take a little while for us to get these vehicles because, as you're aware in the media and by driving by car lots, vehicle inventories are low. So ordering this vehicle and getting it on the order form will ensure us getting it before the end of the year. The price may slightly go up and down based on pricing, but Atchison Ford has said it's going to be around $21,555. That's the number he got the day that we asked for the quote. If it does change, I will make sure that we get the slight change approved, just like we've done in the past with other vehicles we purchased in the exact same manner. This is part of the Department of Public Services plan to modernize the fleet. As we've continued our progressive fleet management, we every year have been purchasing a new vehicle and replacing old ones. This is thereby making the fleet younger and thereby reducing our maintenance costs, which is, you can see a significant improvement every year since Department of Public Services took over the fleet management in a progressive way. We've actually reduced our maintenance costs by making the fleet younger. This is allowing us to continually go back and reevaluate vehicles, move them around from departments in the fleet by need, and ensure that we can purchase a new vehicle at least once a year, or bring a proposal to purchase a new vehicle to the board every year to ensure that we have the best vehicles for our staff to ensure that they can get their work done on a daily basis. The reason that we've selected this vehicle to be assigned to community services is currently the vehicle that's assigned to them is the best option that we have available to them, which is a Police Chief Jason Wright's old Expedition. The vehicle is, while safe to drive, is nearing the end of its useful life. And so in order to, and it's actually quite large for the use that it's doing, mainly taking people to Van Buren Park to do management activities, taking people to French Landing and other parks in the township for project management, and for other trips that need to be taken by the senior department and to travel to the museum. We believe this vehicle will get significant use in this assignment, and I offer this opportunity to purchase the vehicle to you, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions that you may have.
I can tell you that I can tell you about Jason Wright's Expedition. That thing used to, I think, you drive down the road, you could see the sides flapping in the wind. I drove it one day and I couldn't believe that he actually lived in that thing. I can't believe that they took it, but they used to have the worst van in the building. And so I guess this was an upside from the van, but when I found out what they were driving, I thought, oh, that's gotta go. So does anybody have any questions? This is a two-wheel drive model. And I will openly state that for $3,000 more, you can get a four-wheel drive Bronco, but you gotta wait 6 months. And I'm not sure that we can't get out of anything with a two-wheel drive anyway nowadays. Okay. Any questions? If I'm hearing no more questions, I'm going to call the roll then. Clerk Wright, call the roll.
That who made the motion? I think that was
Sorry, Mr. Boynton.
Mr. Boyne.
Boynton,
Trustee Boyne.
Yes.
Trustee Frazier.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Trustee Martin.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Treasurer Bud.
Yes.
Yes for Clerk Wright. Supervisor McNair.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I'm going to state this openly though, that fleet, getting rid of those 10 junkers has drastically improved our fleet. It's much better looking, but it is still a long way to go. But it is not what it was 5 years ago when there wasn't a single car out there that probably wasn't up 10 years old with 100,000 miles and falling, wheels falling off it. There wasn't a, what do they call those things that go on the wheel cover? There wasn't a wheel cover in the parking lot. They had all been ripped off. So, yeah. So, okay, number 2, discussion on and to consider approval of selection of Deere and Company to provide a John Deere cab tractor with a diamond mower for the Building and Grounds Department. Can I get a motion?
Supervisor, make a motion for discussion on and to consider approval of the selection of Deere and Company to provide John Deere 610 5E cab tractor with a 2020 Diamond Mower RSFO 75-C for the Building and Grounds Department for the state bid pricing of $85,177 35 cents to be charged to the capital outlay 101-265-970-000.
Support.
Mr. Bud. Okay. Director Best.
Thank you, Board. Today I bring before you a second item for the capital for a purchase of the John Deere 6105E cab tractor with a 2020 Diamond mower for Van Buren Township's Building and Grounds Department. After looking at the state contracts that were available, we selected the John Deere as the best product for the uses that we were going to be using the vehicle for. And the mower is the exact product that we need for the mowing that needs to be done. The Deere and Company contract, which is found under the Michigan Agricultural Grounds and Roadside State Bid Pricing Contract, is currently priced at $66,000. The mower is $66,661.35, and the Diamond mower is $18,515 for a total of $85,176.35. The purchase of this tractor is a long-term investment in the township. This tractor will last probably longer than any of us will be working at the township or serving at the township. The mower is the same high quality. And the reason for this is the township, outside of its current landscape contract, has other areas that it mows outside of the landscape contract from our water department and our building grounds department. Some of those areas include the area around the water tower, areas along easements for our water and sewer departments, and other various small areas that need to be mowed on a regular basis. This mower also gives us the capability, if the board so chooses in the future, to do roadside mowing along roadways in the township. The new tractor and mowing accessories will allow for proper management of township properties and easements. The careful consideration that was done and the research that was done, Public Services from that research highly recommends Deere and Company, which is the manufacturer of the product, or the designated seller of the product, to purchase it from Bader and Sons. So Bader and Sons is the pass-through, and we paid Deere and Company. So that's why Bader and Sons has the quote. Deere and Company, the one has the state contract. I'll show you just briefly, I will show you a picture of this for the audience at home so you can see. And we got this quote in 2020. However, the contract is good through the end of July. And I added a picture of this. Here we go. So this is the tractor here. It has multiple optional accessories that can be purchased in the future. It also has a PTO system, which will allow those accessories to be powered, whether we wanted to add bat wings, additional lifts, a forklift in the front, a bucket in the front. The versatility of the 6105E tractor is amazing. That's why we've selected it. It is the perfect product for what we need it for. The previous tractor will be transitioned. It's a much smaller tractor. It has yet to reach its useful life. However, it doesn't do all of the functions that we perceive that Building and Grounds currently does and should do. And so we're going to transition that tractor to Parks and Rec for utilization at Van Buren Park and other areas. With that, if the board approves, we will move forward with Bader and Sons to place an order, have the tractor built, have the mower built, and then have it assembled and delivered at Van Buren Township in the next few months. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Through the
Go ahead.
chair,
Yes.
how long will it take for the mower to be built before we have this up and going?
It could be anywhere from 2 to 6 months, depending on the current backlog.
So probably not this season, but definitely fall, probably next year.
It really depends on if we catch them. They're because they build them constantly. We just have to. We may catch it early. We may catch the cycle late. We may catch one that's already ready to go. It just depends on when we order it and luck of the draw.
And if we get this mower built and shipped to us, will we be using it for the cemeteries?
No,
Now I know it's under contract, but
no, we will not use this for the cemeteries.
you know where I'm going with this, Kevin. All right, thank you.
Clerk Wright,
Through the chair. Oh,
and then Boynton.
I think it's too big for the cemeteries, but
I know.
Matt, Director Best, you said this is gonna be, you said it's gonna be used to mow around the water stations, the water.
Yes, there are various properties that are not currently part of our landscape contract that are mowed by the tractor and it's a trailing mower. It is not as functional, and the mower itself is we're keeping it up with love and tender care. So there are various areas around the township, around the water tower. There's the area that's mowed around the water tower. There's areas of the township easements where we mow easements on top of our water mains to get access to them. And we also mow a couple other areas in the township right now.
So you said, how do we mow those now with the old tractor?
Yes.
All right, I'm not one of playing coy. I'm what do you call it? Translucent. Here it is. We need a tractor. We've been sharing one with Parks and Recreation. We could get another little tractor that can do almost nothing. Or we can admit the fact that Wayne County has got us by the scruffy neck and we can't do anything without them unless we have big beefy equipment. And there's occasionally things that we want to do and we just can't do it because Wayne County won't do it. They don't have the power. They don't have the equipment. They don't have the manpower. They don't have the money. Things like side mowing. We can't do line of sights. There's a lot of other things we can't do because we don't have the firepower for it. So yeah, Clerk, you're right. It's a little bit of a bigger tractor, but we talked about it earlier.
Supervisor, I appreciate you saying that. I'm okay with that. I just wanted to hear exactly what it's going to be used for. I knew
and I've said it before.
I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with that. You're absolutely right. We don't. Yeah. We don't get the services from Wayne County. You know I know that. I just wanted to hear exactly what you just said. So thank you.
I just don't like to rub it in. It's just because I really know that Wayne County does have an issue. They don't have the money and the manpower. And so, okay.
I mean, I knew it was a big tractor, so I figured they're going to use more than just more.
Yeah.
Grass. So regular grass.
Yeah. Trustee Boynton.
yes, sir. Director Best,
Yes.
what are bat wings?
So a bat wing, so the mower that we're using or we're ordering is a diamond flail mower. It sits behind the tractor and goes up and down on an actuator, both left side and right side to mow.
Okay.
A bat wing is on the side of the mower on one side or the other, or sometimes both. And it goes down on each side of the mower and it kind of looks like the tractor has wings. So because they go up and down, they call it a bat wing. That is something we looked at, but for the types of applications that we want to use, the flail mower in the rear is the appropriate application.
And both the flail motor and the bat wing mower would tip over our current tractor.
Yes.
Okay,
One more piece of information that I will add. This tractor will have the flail mower on it, and it's very difficult to remove the flail mower. And so once we order this and put it on, its main use is going to be for mowing during the mowing season. And in the off season, we could remove it and use it for other things. It could be used for large snow removal. It can be used for gravel movement. It can be used for moving other things. But during the season, we'll probably have that flail mower on there all season long.
okay, okay.
Okay. All right, hearing no further questions, clerk, could you call the roll?
Yes,
You have
trustee, the what? Trustee Miller?
Yes.
motion, Bud second.
What did you say?
I said yes.
Oh, I thought Kevin was saying something. Yeah, okay. Trustee Martin?
Yes.
Trustee Frazier? You say yes. Trustee Borden?
Yes,
Treasurer Bud?
Yes.
Yes for Clerk Wright. Supervisor?
Yes.
Sherry,
Motion passes.
Sherry,
Frazier.
take your microphone off and say yes.
She nodded her head.
Okay. All right, motion passes. We're going on to the next
Thank
item,
you very much.
which is discussion on a reopening plan
Don't use the mouse. It's on my phone.
and the use of remote Zoom meetings. So this is discussion. I'm going to ask for thumbs up on about 3 or 4 things. I'm going to read off the email that I sent to you guys, and I'm going to turn this over to Nicole for the 3 sections I want to talk about. All right, and I have discussed this with each of you individually over the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to go over it really fast again right now. Basically, what we're looking to do is to extend our open hours at the Township Hall to the full 7:30 to 4 p.m. pre-pandemic hours, starting in July 12th. Employees will move to 4 days in the office and 1 day remote, alternating Wednesdays and Fridays, July 12th to August 9th. August 9th is the first full week of operations of all hands on board. I've said that I will not do anything without the board's approval. Of course, I won't. So I'm asking the board to decide if it is ready to open. The open meetings emergency just has now been extended to December 31st by the Wayne County Commission and the Health Department. As I stated before, I would prefer bringing back to the full board to the full board meetings starting July 6th. But others have requested that we give it at least 1 more month, and some want considerably more than 1 more month, feeling that they're not quite close enough to herd immunity. So I'm going to have three requests at the end. Section 1 is the reopening plan itself for the administration building and building. We're going to discuss mandatory vaccination. Section 2 would be the board reopening and the date of the board reopening for our board in the building. And section 3 would be the allowance of our workshops and other committees, including our workshop board, to be done within Zoom in the future. Nicole, could you take us away with the details of what we're planning?
Yes, thank you again, board, for allowing me to present before you tonight. The first thing I want to talk about is our COVID-19 updates. So I'm going to share my screen with you real quick here. So we're all familiar with this plan that we created last year. We actually implemented it last year, May 4th. I revised it early June. It's amazing. It's already been a year since we went through this, and we already have a vaccination that seems to be very, very helpful for all of our employees and our citizens at this time. So I'm not going to bore you with all of the details. I'll give you a quick overview of what was updated. Pretty much I went through the entire document and put the actual definition of fully vaccinated versus unvaccinated employees. So that was updated throughout the entire document. In section 101, I updated the sick leave clause where last year the FICRA leave for all employees who contracted COVID had a bank that expired December 31st of 2020. Right now, any employee that contracts COVID can use any time that they have available. Their sick leave, personal leave, vacation, PTO, they can use all of that if that happens to them at this time. So that has been updated. The remote work plan, we initially talked about it ending effective June 30th. However, Supervisor McNamara has presented his alternative to that plan ending, and we will be back again July 12th, where we will alternate Wednesdays and Fridays. That would be keeping our same Team A and Team B structure that we already have, and just throwing an alternate Wednesday in there at this time. The other biggest thing throughout the plan that was updated was I will be requiring all employees that are vaccinated to provide me a copy of either their card or what something that I added as an appendix, which is Appendix K, the fully vaccinated certification form. That form is the same thing as the card. So I will be asking effective tomorrow, employees provide me with that card to put in their file. And I know that Clerk Wright had something he wanted to talk about before I moved on that was pretty much pertaining directly to this.
Through the chair, Supervisor, that's okay.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I heard you mention earlier before she got started that we was going to talk about a little bit about mandate and vaccination. I know this is a touchy subject. It's going to be probably hard to digest by some, but this is my this is my suggestion. This is me looking at it, what I think. That's my perspective on it. I truly believe any because we provide services to the public directly. That's our job as public servants. We have employees that does this on different levels. Now we have some that doesn't have direct contact with the public, and we have some that has direct contact with the public, especially our public safety departments. We have our police, our fire department, but the bulk of their runs are medical. So we can't tell them they can't go in, they're not going to be in someone's home, and we don't know when they go in the home, we don't know whether the person in their home is vaccinated or not. We can't really ask that. So that's their job to go in the home and get medical attention. Same thing with the police. They see all types of they on all types of run. They see all types of situations. They don't know what they're going into when they go into it. And we have employees that work at the township that work direct with the public. My office, the treasurer office, supervisor office, building planning. I think that it's gonna soon come to the point where we have to have employees vaccinated. That's the only way we're going to get to where we need to be. And as we see it in this state and many other states, the vaccination rate has pretty much came to a crawl because of that. Everyone that wants to get vaccinated has pretty much gotten vaccinated. And now we're at the point where we're trying to encourage people to get vaccinated. Now, don't get me wrong, anyone that has a legitimate doctor excuse that says for whatever reason they can't get vaccinated, whether it's an allergy or some type of allergic reaction, I'm okay with that. But and also any religious status that you can show that says that the same, that you cannot be involved in these types of things, I'm okay with that. But if it's nothing, if we don't have that, it's my thought that we should be leaning towards mandate our employees to be vaccinated, especially the ones that has direct contact with the public.
And Clerk Wright, I'll piggyback off of that. The biggest thing when I mentioned the plan was updated with rules for vaccinated versus unvaccinated employees. This will also go for our citizens coming in the building. Currently, the MIOSHA emergency rule went into effect May 24th, where anyone who was vaccinated should not be required to wear a mask, but it is optional if they choose to do so. However, if you are not vaccinated coming within the building as a citizen or an employee, you will be required to still wear your mask. We will be putting up new signs at all the employee entrances. Our screeners will have a new sign at the front door where they will answer they will ask the questions and ask the citizen, are you vaccinated or not? If you're not vaccinated, we will ask you to continue to wear your mask. If you are, you will be free to go through the township without it. And if employees don't feel comfortable with someone coming to the counter that doesn't have a mask on, you can still put your mask on. But we wanted to let you know that up front, this is what the plan has been updated to. 2 sets of rules, vaccinated versus unvaccinated at this time. I will be sending out a memo to everyone. Township board, once I finish the updates to the COVID-19 plan, I will send a finished document out to you as well once I get a signature and update some of our emergency plans in the event that this does happen again. My OSHA would like for all of us to continue to have a COVID-19 preparedness plan on file. And the biggest thing that I thought myself had gone away and several employees thought it had gone away as well was the screenings. It's still there. They want to continue the screenings as a frontline defense and making sure employees and citizens do not come to the township that have COVID or have symptoms of COVID. So that link, or we're trying to create a bar scan for you, that is still going to be in effect. I will tell you that I was guilty. I got really lackadaisical once I got vaccinated, but I put it out there to employees, let's start it again. So that is still going to continue to be a rule. Now, I will say that there could be a totally different change of rules come July 1st. So, but as of right now, these are the updates to the plan that we'll be using until we hear anything else from either my OSHA or the governor or both. And with that, I'll take any questions the board may have.
I want to break this up into 4 categories, okay?
Okay.
Okay. We have 4 issues here. I'm going to start. The first one is going to be Clerk Wright's issue that he would like to make vaccinations mandatory. Now, if we're going to do mandatory vaccinations, I'd want a solid vote of the board, okay? I'm going to want a roll call vote of the board to back that. The next one would be the reopening plan that was put forward just now with, the A and B would be opened up July 12th and then August. The third one would be, when does the board open? We can put that off for a second and just attack the first 2. Let's keep our questions right now to the vaccination, making vaccinations mandatory. And I will piggyback on and state that I have notified the unions that if they're interested in this, they better be in this meeting. And I don't think they're here, but I have notified that I've called personally the presidents, and they tell me there aren't that many of them in their group that are interested. So,
well, Supervisor, I will say there's not many people who are not vaccinated in the township. So I will put that out there. I'll say about 97% of our employees are vaccinated. So I do want to let you guys know that.
okay.
Through the chair.
Yes, please.
Have we received a legal opinion about it, mandating employees to be vaccinated?
Exactly.
Yes, we have. And the attorney has also sent over a ruling that just came through for Texas federal court, which she feels may also be followed by Michigan eventually. But again, all of these rules can change at any time because everything's fluid right now. So we did get an attorney's opinion on this. We're not violating any EEOC rules. We're not violating any HIPAA rules by doing so, as all of those entities believe that this is a matter of public health at this time.
What about their civil rights?
Oh,
Our attorney made it very clear that there would be no court in the land that would stop you from mandating vaccines based upon this ruling.
Right. Now, if you do have a religious belief, just as Clerk Wright said, or a medical reason as to why, we just need to know about it. I can't go around a doctor's note, nor can I go around your religious beliefs.
Through the chair.
If this is the way they choose to go.
So my question to Nick,
you turned yourself off, Reggie.
okay, I'm sorry.
Could
Through
you
the
drop
chair.
your screen, Nicole?
This question is for Director Sumter.
Mhm.
I take it that if we're going to make our employees do this, we're applying this to the board and our committees and commissions as well, correct?
This is if you go along with that. This is if you want to make it mandatory. And yes, that would apply to the entire board, commissions, and employees that all deal with the public.
And how would they show? They would have to show proof then, correct?
You know what? I'm sorry, not your boards, not the planning commissions, because I have no control over that. So let me retract that statement. I have no control over your boards. But the board of trustees and our employees would have to show proof if you all decide that you want to take the route of mandating employees to get vaccinated.
Well, how can we say it's okay for this group, but not all groups? That doesn't make sense.
But I'm not over any boards or
You're not
commissions.
over those boards.
I'm only over the employees. That's it.
But I know we're not over those boards, but we do oversee those committees and commissions.
That is true. So if you all decide that that's what you want to do, that would be your right to do so.
Well, if we're going to do it, we need to do it the right way.
Can I interject?
Mhm.
It's my belief that Trustee Miller, I don't think that the boards and commission are employees of the township. They're pretty much volunteers. We just pay them a stipend. So you can't ask a volunteer you can only ask a volunteer to do something. You can't mandate them.
Well, it's my understanding that they're representatives of the township, and in some cases, yeah, they are considered employees because they are representatives. And it depends on how you're applying that. I'm just saying that if you're going to say, hey, look, our employees have to follow this, our boards have to, our board will have to follow this, but the committees and commissions don't have to follow that. And then if we have a case of COVID and it's traced back, you have traced contact back to one of those boards and commissions, what's our response to that?
I tell you what, Trustee Miller, how about I throw that out to the attorney tomorrow? And I can get back with you on that, just so you'll have a clear answer strictly regarding your boards and commissions. How about that?
Thank you. I would feel more comfortable then.
No problem. I got it. Any other questions on the mandatory vaccinations?
Director Sumter, could you take down your screen?
Mhm.
Thanks. I can't see anybody. I don't know who's talking. Thanks.
Now, to be clear, this will be for employees.
Correct.
Not the public.
No.
Not the public.
Because I'm going to make a suggestion, not right now, later on down the line, but right now, this is mandating the employees of the township to provide proof, if you will, of vaccination.
Correct. If we're just talking about providing the proof of vaccinations, yes. If you're talking about mandating the employees to get vaccinated, that's something that you all have to approve and you all as a board have to vote on.
Okay, you didn't go where I thought you were gonna go, but okay. Okay.
Through the chair, I think that really we can only require the employees. We can't employ the public.
No,
You
they
know.
said that.
No, you can't.
That's the point that I was making.
Employees.
But entice them.
That was
Yeah.
the clarity that I was making. It's
Okay.
just employees that we're discussing on right now. We're not talking about the public.
I can't, yeah, the board, you can't even impose this on your citizens. The rule has already gone out effective May 24th. Vaccinated people are allowed to not wear their mask as long as the township allows it. Now, if you decide this isn't the route you want to go, you can keep the rules the way they are. When people come into the township hall, they will still have to wear their mask. However, I do know we have had a lot of incidents with my screeners where people just walk past them because they don't want to wear their mask and they feel that they're vaccinated and they don't have to listen to us. So just to keep down a lot of confusion and to keep down a lot of headaches for employees as well as citizens, if the rule is already out there, I'm asking that the board follow suit.
And also this, through the chair, you know, going back to my point, I think this also stems as to when we restart as a board as well. If we're going to go back to regular board meetings, it's based on when we go back to in-person meetings.
That's true.
Okay. Reminding you that you cannot abstain because in a township for some stupid reason, I don't know why. Decision yes or no on this, which is a tough question because again, you got the civil liberties on one side, on the other side, you've got senior citizens that may not have been vaccinated talking to our people and stuff like that, and our cops who are walking up on people's doors, and that's what they do for a living. So it's a tough call, I know, but I need a vote on this. So Clerk Wright, would you make would you form a motion for the mandatory vaccinations?
I guess, yeah.
It's your idea.
I said I can make a motion.
You're riding it.
I make a motion that that vaccine should be mandatory for township employees that are full time. Can you hear me, Don Boy? You can't hear me?
Barely, but I can hear you.
I make a motion that we mandate vaccine for full-time and part-time township employees.
Full-time and part-time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anybody that wants to second that?
I will second it. I just want to make sure by saying full-time, are we including directors and electeds? Or do we need to say?
We need to say it. We need to say, I think we need to be.
All full-time and part-time, including directors and elected officials.
I'll second that.
Okay, I've got a motion by Clerk Wright, supported by Treasurer Bud. Clerk Wright, would you call
Through the chair,
up?
discussion.
Okay, more discussion. Molly's for it. Yes, sir.
I'm going to vote no,
Okay.
strictly because people that haven't received the vaccination have not gotten it for a reason, whatever particular reason that may be. I think it's an imposition on their civil rights. If I was made to get a vaccination, I probably would try to challenge it. But I'm going to vote no. I'm going to have to vote no. I understand your reason and it's a, you think it's right, but I don't.
Through the chair.
Treasurer Bud or Frazier?
We require students to have vaccinations before attending school. And to me, this is for the welfare of the residents and our whole community. So, because we have requirements. When you're living in a community, in a society, we make the rules and that are best for our residents. So I disagree with that.
I was on the fence.
I'm confused. Disagree with what?
Agree.
Yeah. I was on the fence there, and totally on the fence, because I believed exactly what Kevin Martin said. On the other side of it is, I've talked to enough people that I think there's one or two people that will have trouble with this. But overall, I don't think there's a problem. But Trustee Frazier, what you just said is right. We require vaccinations of a lot of people for a lot of reasons, and they're all good reasons. And this is a good reason. I think it is.
Through the
So,
chair,
I am going to vote yes.
through the chair.
Yes.
So let me ask this. If our start date is pushed back as a township, as we know, Wayne County extended how long we can meet through Zoom versus in person. If we extend that to the end of September, could we make that part of this motion? Because then by doing that, we're protecting the public from additional exposure. Because I'm not comfortable meeting yet. What's everyone's thoughts on
Okay,
that?
so we're okay. So
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Trustee Miller. I agree with what you're saying. I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. However, I don't think joining it with this motion is the proper way to go. We need to keep it separate. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But right now, we're just talking about the employees, the full-time, the part-time, the electeds, and the directors or the salary folks. That's what we're talking about right now. That's it.
Okay, so let me ask this.
And then we'll have a separate one.
Okay, agreed with you. Let me ask this. Has there been any other townships or cities that have had mandatory vaccinations as Clerk Wright has proposed here tonight? And has there been legal challenges to that?
I will tell you, Trustee Miller, when I polled a lot of the communities, they are not mandating their employees to get vaccinated at this time. So there will be no challenges because there are no mandates.
So there are no.
But I will add, Trustee Miller, that we never brought it up because there was always a question of was it illegal?
Right.
This became legal 2 days ago.
Yeah, in the state of Texas, correct?
The Texas court upheld it, yes.
Federal government.
So it hasn't been appealed yet, correct?
But no, this was
this was just a couple of days ago.
It came from an appellate court judge in Texas.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, those guys don't get turned over very often.
Was polio vaccine mandatory?
Yes.
Yes.
It was.
For school, to enter school, you had to have a polio vaccine.
That was mandated by the federal government, correct?
By the feds and I think by the state.
So when the federal government mandates it, then I'll take a different stance. But until that time, I can't.
Good point. All right, does anybody else want to comment on this before we go to vote? Okay, the simple vote is, are we going to mandate the employees of Van Buren Township to take the vaccine? Clerk Wright, would you call the roll?
Yes, I will. I'll start with myself, since I made the motion, so I'm saying yes. Treasurer Bud,
Yes.
Trustee Boyne,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
No.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Frazier,
Yes.
Supervisor.
Yes.
The motion passes. I also would like to say that I just like to make the note that Director Sumter has indicated that about 97% of our employees are vaccinated. So if those 3% has some reason, like I stated, that can be documented for not getting vaccinated, then it's the same. I'm not saying we're going to force anyone out of their protected reasons, which is saying, I said, doctor excuse, or religious excuse. So if that's provided, I believe those are your civil liberties. We do have some areas that we should be responsible for, and that's to make sure we keep that's the township safe, our employees safe. We haven't went through anything like that, and I respect Trustee Martin. I respect what you're saying, but we haven't experienced anything like that. I haven't experienced anything like this, and I'm just saying. And one more I think about this, I just think it's the best thing for us to do because we have employees that serve the people, and we are put in front of the people every day. And if we're going to try to get back to doing what our jobs are for us to do, which is serve the people, which everybody wants us to come back, and that's what we're going to do. Everybody wants us to be there so they can come in and take care of their business. It's our job to make sure that employees that we have to do that are safe for those people to experience. That's my feeling.
Through the chair,
Trustee Martin.
what's the time limit? And if the employee doesn't get vaccinated, will they be terminated?
And what will you do to a board
Put on
member?
notice? I'm sorry?
Actually,
And
I
what will
could
you
not
do?
terminate a board member if I wanted to.
But I'm talking about the other employees.
Let's say no.
Okay, so what's the point of having the mandate? I'm sorry, I know we voted already, and we
They may
really
be
shouldn't
a
be
long
discussing
time.
it anymore, but
They may be long, you're right, and I was going to stop Clerk Wright, and I thought I can't, he's the clerk, and then I thought, well, I got to give Trustee Martin a shot.
we can end that now. We've already
I
voted
have
for
to
it.
do it. I have to do what the board tells me to. Number one, number two, they voted the way they voted. Number three, if the employee doesn't do it, I will try and work out a way that is kind and generous to the employee to let him wait out until he either gets the vaccine or finds a doctor or a religion. All right. Yeah. All right. Again, I did contact the people involved and nobody seemed to come forward. All right. Is there anybody trying to speak? No.
So we have one more, we're correct?
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to the next item. The next item is basically, this is simple. This is simply, are we going to extend go back to the pre-pandemic hours of 7:30 to 4 being open, starting July 12th? Moving and then advancing, going from 3 and 2 to 4 and 1 days working, one remote, until August 9th. And then August 9th would be the first full week of operation where we're back to pre-pandemic levels. That is all this vote is about. So can I get a motion for that?
Say that one more time, please.
Okay, so July 12th, Van Buren Township, the administration building, which is open from which is working from 7:30 to 4, but it's only open from 10 to 3. It will go to being open from 7:30 to 4. The employees, which are working 3 days in the building, 2 days remote, will go to working 4 days in the building, 1 day remote. That will extend for 1 month. The 1 month after that, which would be August 9th, everybody would go to 5 days a week where we were pre-pandemic with the same hours, 7:30 to 4. I will make the motion for that. I motion that we go to our pre-pandemic, the plan I just laid out.
Support.
Support? Who was support?
Trustee Frazier.
Okay.
Supervisor,
Yes.
so if we do that and some people aren't vaccinated, shouldn't we extend that date, at least by a month so they have time to get the vaccination?
I will openly tell you that there is only one person right now in the administration building that has an issue with this. And we're going to have to work something out, okay? But it's only one in the entire administration building.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Our issues, I think we have 3 cops and 3 fire.
Well, then I'm okay by August 9th then. All right.
Okay. All right. So I have a motion and I have a second. I'm gonna call for a roll. Clerk Wright?
Okay, trustee Frazier,
Yes.
trustee Boyden, trustee Boyden,
Yes.
trustee Miller,
Yes.
trustee Martin,
Yes.
trustee Bud.
Yes.
Yes for me, supervisor.
Yes.
Motion passes.
So now we're gonna go to the next one. When do we open up the board? There's been multiple times stated for it. There are unique problems with the board because there is no social distancing. We cannot control anybody that comes into our building, and we have no right to stop anybody for any reason. It is Open Meeting Act at its purest. So the question becomes, when can the board actually meet? Obviously, I'm putting forward that I'd like to do it in July. But some people have recommended August and some September, and some have said to go on even in December. So this is one that I don't really need a vote on. A thumbs up is fine because I can call the meeting to be together or apart, whichever you want, but I do need a concise plan.
But why don't we have a vote? We just voted on 2 other subjects. Why wouldn't we just follow suit here?
You
What's
can
the
vote if you
problem?
want. You can vote if you'd like. It
I
doesn't
have-
bother
I think
me.
we should.
Sure, okay.
I have a question.
All right. I have lots. Yeah, go ahead.
This is an action for not only us, the board, but also for our committees and commissions that also meet and have public attendance as well, such as the Planning Commission or the Environmental or the BZA, the Recreation, and so on and so on and so on.
You're asking a question. No, it's not. This is exclusively for the Board of Trustees. I'm saying that for one reason. The other commissions can continue Zoom or not, and you have to decide whether or not they're going to be able to do that. So I'm saying, you could do it all together at once if you want, but number 4 was going to be, do we allow workshops, the board workshops, other committees to decide on their own whether they're going to meet in Zoom, how you want to do that? We can decide all that right now if you want.
Yes.
I would think that we would want to do it all part and parcel because of the fact that we all pretty much are talking about the same function, which is having a crowd of folks, if you will, in the room with us for whatever meeting that we're doing, and also, for workshops or seminars, things of that nature. I think we might want to maybe separate that out. I don't know, but just sticking with us, the board, the commissions and the committees that we have, the BZA, we should speak on and vote on those all part and parcel.
I agree.
Okay, Clerk Wright's been waiting.
Yeah, I have a suggestion. I agree with what trustee Boyden is saying and trustee Miller, but why don't we try this? Because we're dealing with the public also when we have public meetings. I agree with it's probably time, and a lot of people want to see boards come back so they can come in. A lot of people want to come in, but can we do some type of hybrid approach where if we have a resident that want to come to a board meeting that don't feel safe to come, can we have a hybrid approach where they can be telecasted in? I know we can do that because we do it right now. We had two open meetings in person with MMRMA, and we've had people that still didn't feel comfortable coming to the meeting because of whether they're vaccinated or whatever. It wasn't. I don't know what it was, but we used the Zoom feature for them to be a part of the meeting with the monitors on the wall that we have, our new sophisticated systems that we have. So why don't we try a hybrid approach, and we can also do that with our planning commissions and committees, if they don't feel safe at that point of coming in, because a lot of these people are, like I say, are volunteers. So if they don't feel safe, we can hire them in also. If you just have, you can have maybe some people that's the board there, or have people hybrid in, or vice versa. We have a couple members of the board for MMRMA that wasn't attending, and they was attending via Zoom, via hybrid, capacity. So what do you think about doing a hybrid approach starting off?
We have.
I
Dan
would think,
Coleman
I
on
would
the
think,
line
I
right
would
now.
think that's a good idea as
Hold
well.
on. Yeah, well, hold on. Dan, since you brought up the hybrid, Dan. speak
Yeah.
up real
So
quickly.
this is something that the communication team has been anticipating for a while and was looking at technology that's going to allow us to have a hybrid remote and in-person meeting with the board. And we're still evaluating that. We have an engineer that is very useful in this capacity, that is going around to different communities, trying to see how they'll be able to integrate it. I know that Alicia attends regularly NATOA meetings, which is a national association for telecommunicators. And a lot of communities have saw that was not really going to be possible for them to integrate due to audio issues, but it's not a dead issue yet. We're still going to explore to see whether or not we would be able to do it or not. And Alicia can also speak to this too, because we've all been kind of looking at the technology of how we would do Zoom and in-person meeting at the exact same time. So it is something that we've been anticipating, because we knew that this was going to expire, and we didn't know this was before the Wayne County Commission or Public Health Department even extended our public meetings for public governmental bodies. So I don't want to say that it's dead yet, and it's something that we, even aside from whether or not you want to do in-person meetings or not, we still thought this might be a nice feature to allow participation for people of the public, even if they wanted to attend a meeting remotely. So it's something that we've been anticipating for a while.
Okay.
Dan, I would encourage you to get in touch with MMRMA, because they're doing it. It didn't seem like it was anything technical.
Okay, I've got Martin, and I think I had Boynton waving his hand. The point is, we are looking at doing it, but it is going to take a little bit of technology.
Well, and
through the chair.
Also,
one second, I've got Martin and then Boynton.
So here we go again, voting on something that we have no plan to put into motion. You want to open up meetings at a certain date, but you don't have any plan. How's that going to look? Are we going to be social distance? Are we going to be spread out? Are we going to be sitting on top of each other? How about we develop a plan that include the hybrid suggestion, that would include how we social distance and how we do these meetings before we vote on something we don't even know how it's going to happen. You voted on something else that you don't even know how it's going to work. So I suggest we discuss this further on another day and come up with a plan that we can meet safely.
That was part of what I was going to bring. Thank you, Trustee Martin. But then along with what Dan said, all that fantastic. I'm all for it. Yes, it's going to take more technology. However, that is a setup that would be decided after we got past the question of whether or not we were actually going to start meeting in that respect. Personally, I'll just go ahead and throw it all out there right now, since I have the floor right now. One, I think that given the attendance that we normally see, the percentages as far as the number of people that are vaccinated, that are half vaccinated, that aren't vaccinated at all, and the surrounding areas, actually, I think the board, we shouldn't be meeting until right around the end of September or the beginning of October. That's me personally, or maybe even the end of August. You know, that's me personally. We have no way, no how, no fashion of being able to tell or to mandate anyone in the public coming in or even asking them a question about whether or not they've been vaccinated or not. You know, we have no control over that whatsoever. So what do we need? We need time, you know, plain and simple. We can figure out how we're going to social distance. We can figure out how we're going to set up the boardroom as far as for people coming in. We can get all of that taken care of. But, you know, right now, I don't think we should be sitting before a room full of folks that we are just not sure of. We need to start this back slowly. We need to start it back incrementally. We need to do it in stages. It's slow, it's tedious, it's not fun. However, that's what we need to do, you know, plain and simple. None of us have been through this before. None of us has seen anything like this ever in our lifetimes. No one here is that old, no one. You can't fault us for looking out for the betterment and the well-being of our constituents, of our fellow residents, because that's what I am. I'm a resident here. And the last thing I want to do is to pick up something from someone that's here at one of our meetings and carry it out to Meyer or Menards or wherever else that I decide to go to after the meeting and spread it around. That's the last thing that I want to do. Plain and simple. So I'm thinking we need to wait until you know, the end of August, the end of September, and then too, that's going to raise another question because that is flu season for this area. That is when people actually start to get sick, going from warm weather to cold weather. Then what are we going to do? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rich. I apologize. But that's my whole thing. You know, the other committees, the other commissions, if we want to vote on that separately, fine. We vote on that separately. But us, I think we need to hold off until the end of September, and if not that, at least the end of August. At least.
Trustee Miller? Okay, well, yes, Trustee. Okay, Trustee Miller.
And Trustee Boynton, I appreciate your comments about the flu, but I'm looking at just COVID here, plain and simple. And until we have higher numbers of vaccinations in Wayne County, I'm good with waiting until the end of September. Slow and steady wins the race here, folks, plain and simple. But as far as going back to what Clerk Wright said about hybrid, and to me, that means, and for the audience who are watching or who will be watching, that means, and I think this is what it means, Clerk Wright, that we'll be able to see a resident on camera, correct? Okay, yes. So just like we are here, and I've been on many Zoom calls where, you know, there are open meetings and the public can join. So I know it's available, but that doesn't have to be all one vote here. We can work on that in the future, you know, and then in the coming weeks. So I'm okay for September, or the end of September, and then we can reevaluate at that time.
Chair, I just received something today. I was reading it. I don't know what it was from MTA or another organization. They was talking about how to get back using a hybrid approach. I'm gonna look for it tomorrow, and I'll be happy to share it with everybody if I find it. But I think I saved it somewhere.
We have it. We have it. I mean,
okay.
My attitude, just to let you know, my attitude isn't we should open up because we've got a hybrid and all this other stuff. I don't think that. As far as I'm concerned, it's time to open. That's the reason I'm stating it, and I'm going to vote to open now. But I'm not going to push anybody else because they're uncomfortable with it. So, you know, I don't win many votes around here. So, But
That's not
that's
true.
my attitude. Okay. Kevin Martin, you're up.
You're on mute.
Unmute.
Can't see. What's the plan?
What?
Did you say you're going to open and have meetings? What is the plan? How's this going to look?
We're ready to open.
Why don't you
Go.
come up? So we just going to open. We're going to sit there at the board table like normal and just
Yes.
business as usual.
Yes.
No,
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. No.
I mean, we're all vaccinated. It's
No.
time.
no,
It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right.
Well, first of all,
you need time to
so
plan.
if you're going to have a hybrid, that's fine. Everybody may not want to be a hybrid. Somebody may want to come in and don't have vaccination. I mean, let's have a plan before we implement anything.
Hybrid's a
How about
plus.
that?
I mean, a hybrid has nothing to do with whether or not you're going to be sitting up at the board table and having people come in and be open. You know what? It's obvious that we don't want to open immediately. So tell me, what do you want to do?
The end of September, we evaluate and develop a plan in the meantime.
Okay, well, all right.
I agree.
Okay, was a motion ever made on something like this?
I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion here to reevaluate, come back the end of September, develop a plan for in-person meetings.
Yes.
Support.
Okay, got a motion, got support. Any other arguments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Hey, Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Martin,
Yes.
Trustee Frazier,
Yes.
Trustee Boyne,
Yes.
Treasurer Bud.
Yes.
Yes for me, Supervisor.
I'm a no,
No.
but I'll do what I'm told. Okay,
All right.
so do you want
Passed.
the last
Motion passed.
was whether or not we're gonna, which is a mute point now, I think, whether or not you guys want to leave the committees to allow their own fate on opening up or the board workshops to go to Zoom or not. But we don't need to discuss that now since we're gonna go back.
They follow the board, yeah.
Yep.
And I think it's not saying that we can't, I agree with what they're saying. But I think we do need to have exact plan what we're gonna do, whether it's gonna be a hybrid, or it's not gonna be hybrid, what's gonna happen. I'm comfortable, I can say it, coming in and having a meeting with the board because I know the board is vaccinated. And I think everybody probably are too, but that's not the key. That's not the issue. We don't know when there's gonna be an item on the agenda that triggers a mass amount of people coming into the boardroom.
Right.
Yeah.
It could be something that comes up. It could be the rec center. It could be anything, but any that people might want to come and talk about. And if we're not going to have a hybrid approach for them, give them a safe way of doing it, or don't have a plan on how we're going to approach these people when they show up, I either see how other people are doing it. I think after July 1st, more boards is going to start meeting in person, and we can kind of put a plan together and mimic off some of the other. I'd be happy to talk with MMRMA and see what they're doing. But we're meeting as a board, and the full board is vaccinated. We don't have any public coming in, so that's a whole different scenario. So we feel comfortable meeting now because we all are fully vaccinated.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna cut you off only because I almost want to respond to that, and then that becomes a full discussion after a vote. And we're not supposed to do that. So
Yeah.
at any rate, but we are actually into reports, which we have none, and I'm sorry, but now we can go into board comments, which I guess Clerk Wright, would you like to finish off? Sorry.
Okay. No, that was my comment. Yes, I mean I agree. We should put a definite plan together on how we're going to do it. I know everyone has their opinion on boards and should we be meeting in person or not, but an opinion is only supports the person that makes it. And also we've never, like Trustee Martin said, and Trustee Frazier, we've never been through this before. We don't have a history of how to deal with it. So we're playing it by ear, to be honest with, and that's our job is to lead. And I think there's nothing wrong with being leaders because that's what we are. we're leaders. So to be to say, so sometimes I get tired of hearing people say, well, have anybody else do it? Well, what about you do it? Why don't you be the leader? You know, that's what we're supposed to be, a leader. So somebody has to start, somebody has to lead. So be leaders.
Here, here.
Here.
Did you share?
Anybody else? Yes, Trustee Martin?
I want to go back to the beginning when you showed the video of the rodeo. And Lisa and I had the opportunity to attend, and it was wonderful. We had a blast. I had never been to a rodeo, and I hope that they will come back to the fairgrounds every year. I think everyone should go to a rodeo at some point in time. It's very entertaining, and those people, it's interesting. Somebody got thrown off a horse and got hurt a little bit. And I hope that she's okay. And it was just good to see. They had young kids roping calves and stuff, and it was a great time.
My son from Plymouth, who's he's definitely not a rodeo kid. He and his friends all went down there. They had a blast.
Rodeos are nice. I've been to several before. Growing up in the deep South, I've been to plenty of rodeos, but they are. I agree with Trustee Martin. They are fascinating, especially when you get people that know what they're doing. They seem like they were.
Look for the next meeting to be at a rodeo.
It sounded like they were a group of people that knew what they was doing.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, I guess it's time to call for a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Supervisor, sorry, we have a non-agenda public item from the
I am very sorry. I am sorry. Thank
I
you.
can't even talk anymore. So we have Stephen Drake who posted a comment in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
He said, is there any update on when we might start seeing the new gateway signs getting put up? Also, is there an established list of where all of them are going to be? Thanks. That's all.
I'd love to meet this Drake guy because he's a pretty smart guy. He's up on a lot of stuff. Director Best, could you talk about that?
Certainly. We are currently in the process of working with the RFP and getting prices for the gateway signs to give costs back to the board so that you can decide whether or not to move forward with implementation. If you remember, we paid Ideation Orange out of Royal Oak to design 3 different sign sets. And Mr. Dark, if that's something you're interested in, you can send me or Elizabeth, Director Renault, an email, and we can send you what those signs look like in an email. Once we get the RFP out and finalized and bid out, we can bid out the cost of the signs. And at that point, then the locations, once we get a cost, we can then find out what company we want to work with, come back and the board can decide, do you want to move forward with purchasing signs? Where would you like them to go? We can then secure locations and move forward. COVID kind of pushed the project back a little bit because the priorities during COVID were a little different than the gateway sign project. However, we have currently moved it back onto the table and we're moving slowly forward.
Okay.
Thank you for your question. It's great that someone's still interested in those. It's a wonderful project.
All right.
Yeah, I would like to see them as well, so I'm very interested also. So thank you, Mr. Drake, for bringing this forward.
Okay.
I would like to see the gateway signs somewhere in the near future.
Yeah, COVID kind of stopped it for a minute, so my apologies. Is there any other questions? Anybody else from the public or the board?
I also just want to mention that Callie did jump back on the meeting and she is here. So I know we had some words, kind words for her.
Callie, like to say a word? Can she be elevated?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And thank you for letting me join here tonight. I had a little difficulty getting in here, but I'm here. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to being part of the community and helping out in any way I can. So
We want to thank you, and each one of us would probably say it because we usually shake your hand and each individually thank you for doing what you're doing. But thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Barr. We appreciate you serving our community.
Yes, thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody else that would like to speak?
I am not seeing any more comments or virtual hands raised at this time.
Okay. A motion for adjournment, please.
So
Make
move.
motion.
Mr. Boynton? And
Support.
Ms. Miller? Hearing no negatives, we are adjourned.
Night, everyone. Thank you
Good
for
night,
your